Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Heather Ali John. I am the advocacy coordinator for the East Turkistan National Awakening Movement. On behalf of the East Turkistan National Awakening Movement and the East Turkistan government in exile, I welcome all of you for joining us today in front of the U.S. White House in Washington, D.C. to commemorate the anniversary of a very dark day for humanity that began 73 years ago. We are gathered here today to protest the 74th anniversary of the creation of an evil communist empire known as the People's Republic of China. While October 1st might mark a so-called national day for China and its people, it is actually a dark day for East Turkestan, Tibet, Southern Mongolia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and even the very people of China itself. Because it's the day that the wicked forces of evil, under the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party, came to power and reignited the dark flames of colonialism and imperialism. We are here to resist China, to denounce Chinese imperialism, and to call for an end to over 72 years of oppression, colonization, genocide, and occupation under the People's Republic of China and the imperialist Chinese Communist Party. First, we will start with the playing of the national anthems of East Turkestan, which will be followed by speeches. And we will end today's event by chanting as we face the White House. National Anthem of East Turkestan. I would like to call Mr. Saleh Hidayar, Prime Minister of the East Turkestan government in exile, for a speech. Good afternoon. We are gathered today to commemorate a dark day for the people of occupied East Turkestan, Hong Kong, Manchuria, Southern Mongolia, Taiwan, Tibet, and the very people of China and the whole of humanity. 73 years ago, on this day, the evil, oppressive forces of Chinese colonialism and imperialism came to power under the banner of the Chinese Communist Party and declared the formation of a new evil colonial empire known as the so-called People's Republic of China. On October 13, 1949, the Chinese Communist imperialists, the so-called People's Liberation Army, invaded the sovereign and independent nation of East Turkestan. 2 months later, on December 22nd, 1949, the Chinese Communist imperialists overthrew the independent Republic of East Turkestan, resulting in a colonization, genocide, and occupation campaign that continues to this day. It should be very clear that colonialism and genocide are the worst forms of terrorism, as it is an evil power's systematic and deliberate effort to eradicate and replace entire nations completely. On October 1st, 1955, 6 years after the Chinese Communists came to power, the Chinese Communist imperialists renamed East Turkestan to the so-called Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region and actively sought to erase East Turkestan from the pages of history. In the subsequent decades, the Chinese Communist imperialists colonized East Turkestan by settling millions of Chinese colonists in a deliberate, systematic effort to alter the demographics of East Turkestan. From 1964 to 1996, the Chinese imperialists under the Chinese Communist Party and the so-called People's Republic of China conducted 46 nuclear tests, resulting in the deaths of over 750,000 Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples. At the same time, they waged a systematic campaign, genocidal campaign of forced abortions. From 1979 to 2009, over 3.7 million Uyghur and other Turkic babies were murdered through forced abortions. Despite all the odds against them, the people of East Turkestan never gave up their struggle to regain their rightful independence and freedom. The fall of the Soviet Empire in 1991 and the independence of the Turkic Central Asian republics inspired the people of East Turkestan to resist Chinese imperialism with greater hope and momentum in order to restore East Turkestan's independence. Unfortunately, following September 11, 2001 terror attacks in the United States, China exploited the fact that the Uyghur, Kazakh, Kyrgyz, and other Turkic peoples were predominantly Muslim to label all forms of resistance against Chinese colonialism and imperialism as so-called terrorism. Since 2001, China has been using the false pretext of combating terrorism to wage an all-out genocidal war against East Turkestan and its people. Since May 2014, the Chinese Empire has been waging an official, systematic campaign of genocide against Uyghurs, Kazakhs, Kyrgyz, and other Turkic peoples with the goal of, quote, preventing East Turkestan's independence, end quote, and ensuring that East Turkestan becomes, quote, forever a part of China, end quote. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, since 2014, at least 3 million Uyghurs, Kazakhs, Kyrgyz, and other Turkic peoples have been sent to concentration camps, prisons, and forced labor camps. The Chinese government itself stated in a September 2020 white paper that it sent 1.29 million Uyghur and other Turkic peoples per year from 2014 to 2019, or roughly 7 million Uyghur and other Turkic peoples to so-called vocational training centers, which is a sick euphemism for its genocidal concentration camps. In these concentration camps, prisons, and slave labor camps, Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples are subjected to forced indoctrination, slave labor, starvation, rape and other forms of sexual abuse, organ harvesting, torture, and even summary execution.
Outside the camps, prisons, and slave labor camps, Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples are subject to constant surveillance, systematic discrimination, and racism. Hundreds of thousands of Uyghur and other Turkic men and women have been forcibly sterilized. Over 850,000 children have been forcibly separated from their families and sent to state-run orphanages and boarding schools to be raised as, quote, loyal Chinese citizens, end quote. Since 2021, the U.S. government and the parliaments of over a dozen European countries and Canada have officially recognized China's ongoing genocide of Uyghurs, Kazakhs, Kyrgyz, and other Turkic peoples in East Turkestan. Yet, despite numerous condemnations and low-level sanctions, China's campaign of colonization, genocide, and occupation continues at this very moment. Now the genocide has taken a new form. Under the guise of so-called COVID lockdowns, the Chinese imperialists under the Chinese Communist Party are forcibly starving Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples, deliberately murdering them by depriving them of food and essential medicine. While some people are hopeful that change might come if Xi Jinping, the leader of the Chinese imperialists, is overthrown or replaced, or if the CCP is overthrown and China becomes a democratic nation. However, as shown through the tragic experience of humanity, especially the experience of East Turkestan over the past century, the ongoing genocide and continued suffering of the people of East Turkestan is rooted in Chinese colonialism and imperialism. Until East Turkestan is completely free and independent from the yoke of Chinese colonialism and imperialism, there will be no genuine change, and the genocide of millions of Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples will sadly continue. Thus, we call on the international community to support the motions put forth by the U.S. and Western countries to bring the case of the ongoing genocide in East Turkestan to the agenda of the UN Human Rights Council. We call on the international community, especially the U.S. government, to take swift and meaningful action to bring an end to communist China and Chinese imperialism. We plead with the world to act quickly to end the ongoing colonization and genocide of East Turkestan and its people. We call on the free world, led by the United States of America, to intervene to end China's prolonged campaign of colonization, genocide, and occupation in East Turkestan. 73 years is enough. We plead with governments across the world to support East Turkestan's struggle to ensure its freedom, its independence, and very existence in the exact same way that they are supporting Ukraine's struggle to preserve its freedom, independence, and very existence. We call on the international community to support East Turkestan's case against China at the International Criminal Court by calling on the ICQ prosecutor, Karim Khan, to immediately launch investigations into China's ongoing genocide and other crimes against Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples in East Turkestan. We call on the international community, especially the U.S. government, to recognize the Chinese Communist Party as what it truly is, an imperialistic, transnational, criminal terrorist organization. We again call on the international community, especially the U.S. government, to recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country. We urge the U.S. to uphold its commitment to this captive nation by acknowledging and supporting East Turkestan's just struggle to regain its rightful freedom and independence. Lastly, we want to clarify that the only way to end the ongoing genocide and ensure democracy, freedom, and human rights in East Turkestan, as well as the very existence of Uyghurs and other Turkic people, is to restore East Turkestan's complete independence and freedom from Chinese imperialism in all forms, including communism. Resist China! Resist Chinese imperialism! Restore freedom and independence for East Turkestan now. Thank you.
Now I would like to call Dr. Aziz Suleiman, the Acting Foreign Affairs Minister of the East Turkestan Government in Exile, for a speech. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, October 1st, 2022, marks 73 years of colonization, genocide, and occupation of East Turkestan under the so-called People's Republic of China. For 7 decades, Uyghurs and other Turkic people in East Turkestan have suffered under the occupation of China. For 7 decades, China has invaded our country. They subjugated and oppressed our people. And now the Chinese government is carrying out a systematic genocide, murdering our brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, and even innocent children. They are even murdering innocent animals. The Chinese have robbed us of our country, and now they are robbing us of our people. And this time, by employing a new tactique, a tactique of man-made forced starvation. Under the guise of zero-COVID policy, the Chinese government has locked up the Uyghur people in so-called quarantine centers, locked them up in their homes, and they have taken all forms of food and all forms of sustenance from them. Mass starvation inevitably leads to mass death. As we speak, the Chinese government is murdering our people, and this time, not just in prisons, not just in concentration camps, they are murdering our people in their own homes. They are murdering our people behind the mask of zero-COVID policy. The China's so-called COVID lockdown policy is absolutely wrong. It's absolutely contradictory the recommendation of the World Health Organization. As an epidemiologist, as an infectious disease epidemiologist, let me remind you, according to the World Health Organization, if a person at high risk or a person who has not gotten the full dose of COVID vaccine comes in contact with a person who has COVID, then the person must quarantine up to 14 days. If the person tests negative on the first day and the person presents no symptoms, then the quarantine can be shortened to only 5 days. The maximum number of days a person needs to be quarantined is not 60 days, not even 30 days, it's only up to 14 days, 2 weeks. What the Chinese government has mandated, quarantine entire population of people for more than 2 months, more than 60 days, without food, is totally wrong. China's so-called lockdown policy is just an excuse, and it has been intentionally used as a tactic of murder and is a political tool to wipe out our nation. The starvation of civilians is a war crime before the International Criminal Court. China is seriously violating the IHL, the International Humanitarian Law. Therefore, we call ICJ, the International Court of Justice, the ICC, International Criminal Court, to hold China accountable for the crime of genocide. We call the Biden administration, the State Department, and the international community to support the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, and the ICC, the International Criminal Court, to carry out investigation and persecution of Chinese officials. And we call all global leaders to take immediate action in preventing China from murdering even more people in East Turkestan and to help prevent the next stage of genocide. Thank you all.
Hello everyone, Brother Salih and Brother Aziz Suleymanaka said it well. I just want to add two words in Uygurca. Bugün 10. ayının biri Xitayning davlat bayrami. Biz bu bayramni har yili qarshiligimizni bildirib namoyish bilan ifodalab kelyapmiz. Bugün shu sababdan bütün Uyg'urlar bu yerga yig'ilib Xitoyga bo'lgan qarshiligimizni bildirish uchun yig'ilib turibdik. Hammadan muhimi bütün dunyoga jaqarlaydiganimiz biz Uyg'urlarning birligi, hammamizning nishoni bir, hammamizning tutgan yo'li bir. Balkim kundalik qiladigan işlerimiz o'xshamaydigan ishlarni ichish uchun o'xshamaydigan faoliyat bo'lsa-mu, cho'ng faoliyatlarda hammamizning yana o'xshash yuragining bir vatan uchun uradigan yurak bo'lganligi uchun shunga birligimizni aytib muhim deb shuni ta'kidlashni muhim ko'rdim. Biz shu bismana 73 yil bo'libdi, shu bisilingan zamindagi qahramon, shu vaqtlarda urush qilib, erkinlikni ilib davlat qurgan shu ajdodning avlodlari. Biz bugün bu yerda her yili to'xtamay taki vatanimiz Sharq Turkiston mustaqil bo'lguncha to'xtamay urushimizni har tarafdan davom qilganimizni aniq aytish maqsadi bilan bu yerga yig'ilibdik. Hammalarga rahmat.
Now we're going to face the White House for some chants.
Okay. I wasn't prepared to come and speak here. My name is Tenzing Barshi. I'm a Tibetan here living in DC area. So I'm here to protest against the CCP. October 1st, the foundation of the fascist country. So I'm here to support our brothers in the struggle with the Uyghurs and the Hong Kong, the Mongolian, and Taiwan, everyone who's under the tyranny of CCP. Today marks a sad day. It's not a celebration of almost billion. It's the sad day of all these people, the Tibetans, the Uyghurs, the Hong Kongers, Taiwan are under the oppression since this day marks a dark day for us, and we're here to remind the world the violations of human rights, the genocide that is happening in East Turkestan, and now a new policy that China is carrying out. In the name of COVID, they are locking up people everywhere in Tibet and in East Turkestan, and they're using COVID as an excuse to lock down people. People are in desperate mode, so everyone needs to be aware about the violations of human rights all around, everywhere under the rule of CCP. Free Tibet, free East Turkestan, free Hong Kong! Free Burma! Free Burma, yes, absolutely!
Betul kaç sor.
Assalomu alaykum barliq qarindoshlar. Endi biz Aqsaray qarab shorti olaymiz. Shuning bilan sal oldiroq chiqinglar agar bu yo'ldan ortga olmaysiz. We're going to be facing the White House to do some chants. So if we could all come out a little bit. It's not raining right now, so if it rains, we'll just go back under the.
Okay.
Yep.
Go home, China! Go home, China! Go home, China! Go home, China! China, Turkistan! China, Turkistan! China, Turkistan! We want freedom! We want freedom! Freedom for everyone! Freedom for everyone! We want freedom! We want freedom! Freedom for everyone! Freedom for everyone! We want independent back! We want independent back! We want independent back! And Chinese occupation! And Chinese occupation! And the Turkey! And Chinese occupation! And Chinese occupation! And the Turkey! And
Today, October 1st, is the National Day of the People's Republic of China. It marks not only the 73rd anniversary of the establishment of the People's Republic of China, but it also marks 73 years of oppression against our people in Tibet, in Turkistan, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and so many more inside of mainland China.
Bugün Xitay Komünist hükümetinin 73. yıllık dövlət bayramı. Lekin bu gün biz Uygurlar üçün ve şundaqla Tibetlikler, Hongkonglular ve Burma ve başka dövlətlər üçün 73 yıllık azaplık, besirilgan zeminin azaplık günleri.
For so many years, Tibet has been one of the most mainstream countries. And for so many years, we have been witnessing a complete nuclear blackout and immigration lockdown inside of Tibet. So many poets, so many Tibetan advocates, so many China advocates in Tibet have been unjustly detained or advocating for change in their own countries. So many Tibetans have been detained, tortured, simply for advocating for their very fundamental freedoms. And very recently, we have also heard about the mandatory DNA collection inside of Tibet against the Tibetan people.
Hazır Tibet Cumhurbaşkanı işına intayın test kuvvetudu. Mesela Tibet'te Uygurlarga okşaş DNA testleri ilinwatıdı. Tibet'teki kişilik hukuk qoğduvçuları, Tibet'teki yazgıçılar, şularga okşaş Uygurlarga okşaş naiti test günlerini körwatıdı. Bunun cevapkari yanına Xitay Komünist Partisi.
And since our Hong Kong movement started in 1990, more than 10,000 protesters have been arrested, simply protesting off the streets and protesting for their freedoms. And since implementation of the new security law, so many of them, including ethnic protesters, prominent activists, should even professionals or teachers working in social workers, so many of them have been detained for too long inside of prison, simply for participating in elections or organizing protests in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong'daki ahvallarını naiti eğer, ama bilgendek Hong Kong'da namayış çıkan qeyrindaşlarımız, haqiqatni, haqqaniyatni so'rab chiqqan, adolatni so'rab chiqqan qeyrindaşlarımız bu qo'llanilib tutulib ketdi. Hong Kong'da bu naiti Xitoy Komünist Partisining qo'lida naiti ichilishli ahvollar yuz beryapti.
And not to mention the ongoing genocide against our Uyghur people in Turkistan. We have been seeing Uyghur women undergoing torture, relaxation, and torture. They have been experiencing sexual harassment and torture inside of concentration camps. So many of our Uyghur people are undergoing political indoctrination inside of the camps built by the Chinese Communist Party. And very recently, under the COVID lockdown in Turkistan, we're seeing Uyghur people and other Tibetan people in Tibet being starved to death because of the Chinese Communist Party policy.
Uygurlar kişilerin dişinin itilip özgürlük üyü türlüge ayrılmalıdır. Aç kaldırılmalıdır. Bu vaziyette hepimiz narazı ve karşılıklıdır.
And even in the free Asia region in Taiwan, our Taiwanese people continue to suffer from the ongoing and continuous the military threat of the Chinese Communist Party. They're denied a seat at important international organizations simply because of the oppression and also bullying from the Chinese Communist Party in Beijing.
Demokrasiye borçlu, yanına Xitay Komünist Partisi'nin sakçılarının kolunda kıynalıvatıdır. Tayvan'daki temsilcilerimiz için bu yerde narazılık bildirimiz.
The Chinese Communist Party's 20th National People's Congress is going to be convened on October 16th. And this is a very crucial time that we, the people from Hong Kong, Tibet, East Turkistan, Taiwan, and our allies stand together and show that we will never back down. We will always stand together. We will always stand in solidarity to fight for the fundamental freedom of ourselves and of our people who are still under oppression back in our home country.
Yanımızda olan devlet kişilerini karşılattı. Bizim yardım beyefendiler ve Uygurlar, Taylandlılar, Hong Konglular, Tibetliler, Burun ve hepimiz sayına karşı birleşmek, gücümüzü birleştirmek ve ta ki hepimiz her gün boyunca bu görüşümüzü toplamayız.
We're not just here to show the Chinese party that we will never surrender. We are also here to urge the international community to stand with us, to take concrete action, to stand up for our people. And first and foremost, the United States has introduced a resolution at the United Nations for our Uyghur people. The UN report has shown that the Chinese party has been committing crimes against humanity. And it is time for democratic countries to stand with us, to take concrete action, to protect our people, and then to stand up for our fundamental freedom.
Yöneticiler Birliği'nde biz hangi kuşlarla karşı ilerleyişimizden bir anlatımız. Bu akşam vakitte ve tüm dünyada ağzımızı bilgilerine, tüm tanrılar devletlerine, Uygurlar için, Tibetler için, Bulgarlar için, yani hak dava için, mücadele eden fırsat tutuluşu, bu ana programda olağanüstü avaz çıkılışı telaf kılınır.